Borderlands 4 has the possibility to redefine the entire looter shooter genre. With all the information we have so far, along with trailers and gameplay, Borderlands 4 is actually adding up to be quite a positive addition to my favourite and many of your guys' favourite video game franchise. For example, when looking at comments and reviews of previous games, some of the main things people wanted changing or improving were legendaries being too common, clunky decades-old movement, the story being an absolute joke in Borderlands 3 compared to the masterpiece we were given in Borderlands 2, missing the ability to replay missions without using some kind of editor like Gib Save Editor for example, as well as, being unable to reform certain bosses or basically farm bosses by save quitting 1,000 times, and many more. But as I've researched this game and watched tens, probably even hundreds of Borderlands 4 videos at this point over the last few months, it's clear that, Gearbox has finally realised just how dire the situation is with the whole Borderlands franchise. I think after Wonderlands and Borderlands 3, most people have either given up or only really have one more chance to give. If it's a game that doesn't really live up to our expectations, I'm pretty certain a vast majority of the fanbase, and I'll be honest, probably myself, will just give up for good and turn to other games to fill that void. But enough talking about the doom and gloom, because like I said, this game is looking like it'll be the saving grace for many of us. So we have the same huge skill tree we all look forward to, that the community feedback, since we have, seen it already, does seem to be received pretty well and will give us a good amount of replayability per character. The movement has finally entered 2025, going from looking like an open world version of Duck Hunt on the NES to a game I actually look forward to traversing. Which, just to go into a bit more detail, we have grappling, swimming, double jump, sliding, gliding, climbing, a new digi-runner with customizable parts. So we're going to have like the vehicle part, which is just the looks, and a hover drive part, which can be the performance, which is kind of cool. And all this is actually incorporated into combat. Plus, they have clarified they have chosen a more serious story, still including some of the fun, but removing the cringe and just stupidity we all felt while playing Borderlands 3. And just to list some stuff a bit quicker than the YouTubers that choose to post daily videos about this game and just drag out the same nonsense over and over, we have large zones, removing the need for most loading screens, 30 billion plus guns due to the new mechanic of licensed parts, which is just basically adding new stats and perks to guns from different manufacturers, and it's rarity based, so you can actually get more than one on a single gun. Additional Vault Hunters planned to release, just like we all wanted. Grenades and launchers as ordnances, which is pretty much just unlimited ammo versions but put on a small cooldown. Enhancement mods, which is pretty much just similar to like gacha game artifacts, just giving stat bonuses to certain manufacturers you choose to use. We have so many great options for endgame character improvements, builds, actually giving us reasons to enjoy this endgame, which I have to mention is actually going to feel rewarding with the changes to how legendaries are dropped. Unlike the constant drops in 3, we'll be going back to a time where you could actually kill a boss and feel a bit of dopamine when you get the specific item you've been chasing. Not too long to waste your life, but also enough to feel rewarding, which along with that is actually replayable missions and bosses, which is just huge. So no save quit macros anymore. Plus, we did get some recent news on how the ultimate Vault Hunter levels work, so basically when you complete the game once, you're going to be able to create level 30 characters for any character and play through just from that level. And any loot you get on Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 is going to be exactly the same as Vault Hunter 5. So if you get extremely lucky, you literally don't have to reform at all. You can just keep that weapon. And bosses will actually feel difficult. Not the zone out, mind-numbing type you just blast instantly, get no drop and quit. It seems like you actually have to put some thought into how you're actually going to take them on each time, what energy armor you choose, which rev kit, which is pretty much just a healing item. They will have invincibility stages, but only on the first takedown, which is fine. And before I give a quick mention to post-game updates, just some smaller improvements are auto-collecting ammo, exploration actually being rewarding due to using a currency from like getting vault symbols and stuff, which you can then use on ammo SDUs. They keep talking about great co-op implementation on all platforms, including local co-op, which is what you need. So finally talking about the post-game stuff, there's going to be multiple free updates, such as seasonal mini events to keep it feeling fresh. First is going to be horror themed to go along with Halloween, I assume. It's going to be a small update, add in, just some usable content like guns and stuff, with a larger paid DLC in Bounty Packs 1, given lots of gameplay content with missions and bosses. As far as we know, this is going to happen 4 times over a year or two. Then more free content will include invincible bosses making a return, which I'm super happy about, as well as pearlescence, which is super awesome, add in a new level to look forward to. Then finally, the story packs, where there are 2 we know of that seem to be adding a insane level of content as major DLCs like new Vault Hunters, guns, main story, maps, and more. So Borderlands 4 is looking to achieve the needs of the community first over its own woke path it tried to take. The reliable things we like, along with the things we wanted, a solid roadmap for future content, and promises to care for the game. It's shaping up to be our looter shooter saviour. Except the price, that's baloney.